Our last presenter in the first session is Nicole Duncan, and I have a particular pleasure of welcoming a female MD and CEO of Nickel Search. We don't see people like you very often, and hopefully we're going to see more. Nicole has become the MD and CEO of Nickel Search after a successful executive career with BHP and South32. She has a very broad range of experiences and skills, starting from project development, technology, exploration, and many other things. So please welcome Nicole.
Thanks, Natalia. Thank you for that introduction for me to present what I believe is the best nickel sulfide exploration opportunity in Australia today. So I'm a lawyer by background, so very conservative, not one to overstate, and that is an extremely big claim I've just made, particularly at this conference. But I am saying that we are the best nickel sulfide exploration opportunity in Australia today. You may not know about us because we only listed late last year, and we've been putting all the fundamentals in place. But first, let me take you to our part of the world. Great. I acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands on which we operate, the Wurundjeri people of the Noongar Nation, and I pay my respects to all Aboriginal people and to their elders past, present and emerging. This is Wurundjeri land just outside of Ravensthorpe. So I said that Nickel Search is the best nickel sulfide exploration opportunity in Australia today. And let me tell you why. 3 reasons. We represent great value, we're in a prime location, and we have the fundamentals in place. And I'll take you through each of these. In terms of great value, up on the slide is us compared to our peers on the basis of tonnes of contained nickel and enterprise value. And you can see when you compare our tonnes of contained nickel and our enterprise value with that of our peers, that we are a compelling proposition. And our shareholders know that we offer great value. We enjoy support of institutional investors, both domestically and global, including Sprott. And we have very strong buy-in from board and management, which you can see here. You see, Medallion Metals is one of our shareholders. They are our neighbour in Ravensthorpe, and last year they vended in their nickel tenements so that we can concentrate on nickel sulfide, so that they can concentrate on copper and gold. So our share price, like all other companies, or most other companies, has been impacted by global market forces, but our business proposition has not changed since we listed. So today's share price of 13.5 cents, and I'll claim that half cents, 13.5 cents, we represent very compelling investment opportunity. And this share price is before we launch our Greenfield drilling campaign, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. You can see that we're well funded, so we can deliver the Greenfield drilling campaign, we can continue to do Greenfield exploration work, and we can update the market on our Greenfield potential. And we're really excited about this opportunity coming up. So I said that we represent great value. I also said that we represent, or we sit in a prime location, and it's quite good that IGO went before me because now you've been introduced to Forrestania. So our Carling Up project sits in a well-established nickel province, and we have great neighbours, including Forrestania, in the same greenstone corridor to the north, about 100 kilometres away. Both Forrestania and Carling Up are komatiitic nickel sulfide deposits or projects, and let me explain the importance of this. So I said that being in a prime location is fundamental for nickel sulfide, and that is because it means that all of the fundamental elements needed for forming nickel sulfides were there when the Earth's crust was forming. So the fact that we are in a nickel province means that all those elements were there. This is our deposit model of a komatiitic nickel sulfide. So you can imagine the Earth's crust, it's forming, lava's flowing, it's flowing through channels, and it's picking up everything in its path, including sulfur. And when the sulfur mixes with the lava, it creates nickel sulfide droplets. But importantly, in this type of deposit model, the droplets are forming in a very, very turbulent flow. And so that means those droplets come together and they combine and they reach a point where it's too heavy for the lava to hold on to it. And so that all falls to the bottom of the channel and sits at the base of the channel in pods. And so as the lava is flowing through channels, you see these pods of nickel sulfide dropping and sitting at that contact point between the basement rock and where the lava is flowing. Here you see that with the brown rock being the basement rock, and the purple there is the lava, with the nickel sulfide sitting right at that basal contact point. So this is our 108 square kilometres of prime location in Carlingup, just outside of Ravensthorpe. History and science tell us that more nickel sulfide should be there. So how do we know this? We know because we have on our tenements RAV8, which was a producing nickel sulfide mine. RAV8 produced 16.1 kilotons of nickel at 3.45%, including 9.6 kilotons of nickel at 5.83%. And so RAV8, you can see it's just sitting there on the right-hand side of the screen, but you can see what we're trying to show you there is the trend, or where the lava might have flowed. And so what we're looking at is all of those greenfield targets that we've identified along the Carlingup range and then down into the Ravensthorpe range. The question for us is, we know RAV8 is there, so what more should be sitting along those trends at depth between the basement rock and where the lava flowed? So I am massively simplifying this. I'm sure the geologists in the room are shaking their heads. Please have a look at our full presentation on the website. But what I'm trying to convey to you is the really exciting question that we are going to start to unpick, which is what more nickel sulfide could be sitting here, and particularly what more could be sitting at depth. And the point around depth is really important when you compare us with the likes of Forrestania. So Forrestania, I said, we're in the same greenstone corridor as Forrestania. We have similar ultramafic rock, and it's roughly of the same age. And Forrestania has the same style of nickel sulfide channels, and you see that here. You have Flying Fox first, and then you come to New Morning, and then Sunrise, and then Spotted Quoll. So you see these pods sitting along the channel. But a really important feature about Forrestania is the tremendous depths to which they go. So here, they're going well over a kilometre below surface. And so that makes the question of what's sitting at depth at our Carlingup project even more exciting. So our project, it holds numerous nickel sulfide deposits, but no one has really explored systematically across that entire tenement package, and particularly no one has explored at depth, which you can see here. This is a cross-section showing you our historical drilling. So please, I'm sorry about the small size, but if you just focus on the top, that's a cross-section showing you the historical drill holes. It barely scratched the surface. And that's because people who were exploring, they were focused on laterites or near-surface nickel. So what we will be wanting to look at is that contact point between the ultramafic rock, which is in purple, and the pink rock, which is the basement rock, sorry, in pink. So for us, the question is what nickel sulfide is sitting at that basal contact point between ultramafic and basement. You can see that the drilling has not gone that deep anywhere, and so that's what makes the potential for us so exciting. We can't guarantee that nickel sulfide will be there, but if it's there, we're going to find it, and you've just heard how much the world really needs it. And I can make that claim because we have the fundamentals in place to perform. Our fundamentals, they include our thorough approach to identifying greenfield targets. Basically, we're applying modern exploration tools to a package of land that has been sitting, waiting to be brought into 2022. We have layered all of the information that we have on the tenements over each other, and we're going to drill where all that data directs us. So what exactly have we done? We have flown airborne EM, we've looked for sources of sulfur, we've improved our understanding through mapping, so improved our understanding of the geology. We have done ultrafine soil sampling, so to study the geochemicals, and we have done downhole and fixed loop EM. So you can see we haven't rushed in. We've been very disciplined and done the work first to study where we need to go and drill. On this slide, the colour purple, or it's coming up red, the purple stars and the purple circles are what's really important, and then the red areas. So because the purple circles are the positive results from soil sampling and purple stars are from the airborne EM. And you can see that we have a lot to go and explore. We've identified over 30 greenfield targets, and of these targets, 14 are priority 1, and we are literally days away from being able to drill. And this is the first drilling that we will be doing. We'll be doing some RC holes at Javelin and RAV8, and then followed with RC holes at Sexton, and we're really excited about seeing what's at some sort of depth there. We also have the fundamental capability to deliver. Andy Pearce, he's joined the team, is our exploration manager. He has great pedigree in nickel sulfides through WMC, BHP Nickel West, and most recently at Poseidon Nickel. Tamsin Senders is focused on our processing options. Tamsin is one of Australia's leading scientists in the area of bacterial leaching. And Leo Horn, he rounds out our team as Senior Technical Advisor. He has over 2 decades of greenfield exploration experience. So you can see we're punching well above our weight in terms of capability. As for myself, I've had 16 years with BHP and 7 years at South 32. And with that, I have a lot of experience in terms of leading high-performing teams, transformational cultures, and finding what is fit for purpose. So why did I join a junior explorer like Nickel Search? I joined because of the capability of the people that we have. We are a small, high-performing team. I joined because of the opportunity that we have to make discoveries and to build mines. And I joined because of our ability in a really direct and tangible way to make a difference for our sustainable future. And the contribution that we can make for that sustainable future, it starts today. So our fundamentals include the way that we are careful about our footprint. This has been instilled into us by the founders of Nickel Search, who have held these tenements for years, some since the 1990s, waiting for the right time to develop them. The founding shareholders, they did live in Ravensthorpe. They also worked in Ravensthorpe. They raised kids in Ravensthorpe, so they're very much a part of that Ravensthorpe community. And that means that we at Nickel Search need to act and always be a long-lasting, standing contributor to that Ravensthorpe community. But what does that actually look like? Easy to say, but how do you deliver it? So an example is here up on the screen. This is an example of how we collect water when we're drilling. Often water is collected through dug sumps, but we're using above ground sumps to collect our water, the big blue bucket, and that means that we have a visual cue to see that our water collection mechanism is working, and that helps us to manage our operations, particularly in relation to local farmers, making sure that we're not impacting their operations. Finally, our founding shareholders instilled in us a real deep sense of making sure that we have a business that can last through the inevitable commodity cycles. So yes, super excited about the long-term demand for nickel and what it can mean for all of us, but equally need to make sure that we are able to have a business that can withstand what are inevitable commodity cycles. And so that means we are being very careful about our trajectory of growth and also our entrenched cost base. So thank you all for taking the time to learn about the opportunity at Nickel Search. As I said, I believe we are the best nickel sulfide exploration investment opportunity in Australia today. We represent great value. Our story is not yet well known, and so it's a great time for you to join us. We're in a prime location. History and science tell us that more nickel sulfide should be there. We just need the support, the ongoing support of our shareholders and patient capital to find it. And we have the fundamentals in place. We have the capable people, we have great tenements, we've got great opportunity, and we are intent on building a long-lasting business. Thank you to PayDirt for including Nickel Search in this conference, and also for including me in this panel. Come and see me and Andy and Tamsin. We're at booth 15, and we'd be delighted to have a chat with you today. So thank you.